Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome to this week's episode of Talks with TVBOO. Welcome to this week's episode of the podcast. Happy New Year, y'all. 2021, son. Shit's gonna get better, dude. I believe it. Hope everyone had a good Christmas, good New Year, man. I know I did. Got to see a lot of family. Got to eat a lot of great food. And just got to be around a lot of people that I love. See a lot of people that I don't get to see all the time. So that was really nice. But I will tell y'all, it is nice to be back home. It's nice to be back in the studio making music. I feel really inspired. It's nice to be back doing this podcast, man. And damn it, boy, did we start this year off with an amazing guest. My guest this week on the podcast to open up 2021 of Talks with TVBOO is my favorite DJ, man. He's been my favorite DJ ever since I got into electronic music. He's a guest that I've wanted to have on for a long time. When I first started doing this podcast, I made a list of artists, and number one was GRiZ, man. We got him, baby. We got him. And we had an amazing conversation. And I can't tell y'all how happy I was to sit down and talk with this guy, because he's been such a positive influence on not only me as a producer, but as a person, you know what I'm saying? He's one of those guys that just always spread love, be kind to others, and be yourself. And that's stuff I always try to preach to people as well, but he does it on such a large scale, but still stays so humble, and is just overall just a good-ass guy. And man, I just cannot express how happy I was to have him on the podcast, how happy I am that he came on. And we even doing a track, y'all. So 2021 already starting out to be the best year ever. And it's a long conversation. We did a long episode because it's not every day you get to have GRiZ on the podcast. And he seemed really open about talking about a lot of things, a lot of really dope stuff. And so I'm going to quit talking and just let this episode happen. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. GRiZ. Come here, girl, 'cause that is fact. Let me take my tongue and go back your dirt track. I met a girl and her booty tastes like strawberries. I swear to God, this could be the one that I marry. Hey, hey, and she's so different. I need that from behind. I met a girl and her booty tastes like strawberries. Thanks, man.
I feel like I'm about to do a job interview.
Welcome. Can you tell me your experiences? We're really looking for somebody that can just go and get it.
Yeah. So my qualifications are that I graduated high school. I dropped out of college. I like to smoke weed a lot, and I show up late to things very often. How does that stack up?
Well, I mean, if you can pass a drug test, then if not, then we're gonna have to call the police.
Police don't call the cops, and it really depends on the day. I don't know. I could either pass or fail that drug test.
Well, here's the thing. I think those tests go for like 30 days or something like that. Am I right? I don't know.
I'd probably be failing it.
Yeah, you think so?
I don't do. Yeah, probably. I like the weed thing for sure. That's done.
For sure.
So I have to do a few things before I hop on Zoom meetings. The first thing, I have to restart my computer because whenever I'm working in Ableton and then I go to do anything else, my computer's like, I don't know what you're trying to do, but it's too many things. So I'm just gonna shut down on you. I'm like, cool, great. So I do that first. And then I have to smoke some weed first, and I gotta brush my teeth.
Dude, see, I'm on some weird shit when I smoke weed, dude. I smoke weed maybe once every 2 months. When I smoke it, I smoked it on stage one time, and then
that's not good.
Yeah, I'm up there DJing, and people are looking at me, and I'm sitting there thinking like, man, why are these people looking at me right now?
they paid to look at you.
Right. I'll have somebody tell me they love me, and I'm like, but why?
Oh God. Yo, honest, that's a relatable thing, man. I mean, I can't get on stage if I'm like high. I just can't. I'm like, I do it sometimes, but that's really rolling the dice, because the shit could go one of two ways. And
you be second guessing everything, dude.
For real. And
I think I'm just gonna play the Confessions album all night, and then we'll see where this goes.
You guys like the Grateful Dead? Because here we go.
Right.
Um, yeah, I mean, dude, there's just too much. There's too much going on. There's so many like cool lights and things. Like I'll just get distracted and try and enjoy what's going on and be like, wow, that's
Like,
pretty
damn,
cool.
dude, these stagehands did a really good job tonight. What are their
Yeah.
names? I
Wow.
can't remember their names. They told me their names. You miss a transition. You're just like, oh
Oh
man.
shit. Yeah, I there's been like the plethora of like DJ fuck ups, and to be like stoned out of my brain or to be like drunk and face those situations is like I can't be doing that. No
how,
way.
how about a couple drinky poos before you go on stage?
I walk on stage dead ass sober. That's
Hell
what's
yeah,
up. Like
respect, dude.
I get into the mode where I used to be getting all sorts of fucked up before I walk on stage. Not like fucked up. No, fuck it. I would get fucked up before I walk on stage because I felt like I was like, all right, like like I'm playing the role of like this person who like does this, like does this thing like the touring musician, and so I'm like out to lunch, having a beer, and then like have like a few drinks before I step on stage, and before I know it, like halfway through my show, I'm like, all right, cool, could I get like another, and then I'm
Yeah,
like drinking and playing, and I'm like, dude, that's like a bad, like people look up to me for whatever reason. I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. Fucking A, dude.
dude, I can actually relate to that on many levels because I've kind of like established myself as this PBR drinking Southern boy who likes to have a good time, right? And
Okay.
so, I'll have a couple beers and whatever, and
Hmm.
but I did a thing for a while where I just wasn't drinking on stage. But ever since the drive-in shows, I have been. I've been like,
Great.
I've missed this so much. I'm gonna have a couple drinky poos, dude.
Bro, honestly, like I'm not here to like tell anybody what is the deal with like how you're supposed to fucking live your life.
Yeah,
Like I have all the like all like the shit that I feel like like I'm like ooh, like that's frustrating, bro. I fucking just let it go, and I just live my own life and do my own shit. And
dude.
like if you want whatever you want to do
I
that
love
makes you
it though.
happy,
Live and
that's the
let live,
shit.
man. That's
Live and let live.
that's my whole thing, man.
I mean, shit, someone might rain on my parade and be like, oh, fuck, like, you like to get stoned and then, like, get on a fucking Zoom meeting? I'm like, yeah, because I'm just
Yeah,
be
hell yeah,
sitting,
dude.
I'm
I
just
like to
sitting
have a
here.
couple beers and have GRiZ on the podcast. Like, what's
Let's
up, man?
go.
You know what I
That's,
mean?
that's what's up.
Grant, man, I just can't tell you how happy I am that you are here, that we're having this conversation right now, man. It means a lot. I don't know if you remember, you and I have met once upon a time. The name's Mitch. I don't know if you know. But you and I had met once upon a time. Totally played it cool. I was like, "What's up, dude? Mitch, nice to meet you." You were just chilling outside of a random art show in Denver, and
Oh, shit.
my manager was like, "Yo, dude, GRiZ is outside," and I was like,
What
"Shut the
was,
fuck up! No, he
what
ain't."
was, what was the art show?
It wasn't an art show; it was an art venue. It was like an art. It was just like an.
Oh, it was like an art place where art stuff was going on and then music was going on?
There was a show like three buildings down, and you were just chilling like on a random
Yeah,
night. I was on the
bro.
so
I
I
be,
went and said, "What's good?"
if I could be like any one person in the scene and like kind of live their life that way, it's like Bill Murray. I want to be like EDM's Bill Murray if I could do it.
Well, what's stopping you, bro? I think you can do it. I
I'm on
think
my I'm on my way. Um I don't know, man. I like living my life and like doing stuff, because I'm a fan first. I'm the biggest fan of the scene. I'm a fan of yours. Like dude, I just have that adoration for music and for what people do. Like one of my favorite memories is seeing our buddy Brock Boogie T at the Larimer Lounge. And like
that's where
I need
that's. Yep, that was starting. Or that's where like I met you was like outside that place, like a couple stores down. But continue the story, yeah.
Yeah, that's my neighborhood. I'm like
Yep.
anyways. Um but I didn't even think I said shit. I just like fucking went and bought a ticket and just went to go dance and enjoy the music and shit. And it's like that's that's what I like. I love dancing at shows. That's my shit. And
Dude.
it's a little bit more difficult these times because people want to come and say like, "Yo, what up?" And like I totally get that, and that's cool. So I gotta like with a little bit of understanding of that, and it's fine. Like well, it was there's this other celebrity that it wasn't Childish Gambino, but fuck, who was it? Anyways, like the long and the short of it is like they're like, do you mind like when people come up to you and like ask for your pictures and stuff and like kind of like like just get in your shit a little bit, and they're like no, like that's like the coolest thing ever that people actually think that what I'm doing is cool. Like I got all the time in the world and all the love in the world for those moments,
Hell yeah.
That's what it is.
Dude, so like whenever I went to go see, like I was making sure no one was around. I didn't ask for no picture. I was just like, yo, dude, I just want to shake your hand. What's good? And now you're on the podcast. Can't thank you enough for coming on, dude.
We're on the pod.
Yeah, we're on the pod, baby.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, man. So check it, man. How was GRiZmas? Because, I've been watching you for years, okay? GRiZmas has always been popping off. This year with the COVID going on, you would think shit would be a little different, but you've continually, if that's continually, I think that might be a word. You've steadily have just been doing, thank you. You've been.
I'm secretly reading my dictionary.
Yeah, right, on the phone, dude. Just like, Siri, what is this word? But yeah, you've just been keep on doing these Twitch streams, these fundraisers, and all this stuff, man. How hard was it getting GRiZmas together this year, not being able to be in a public setting?
Oh, man, it was tough. I think it was more difficult ideologically than like effort-wise, because effort-wise it took about the same amount of effort, which was a lot. When we do it in person, we have a 900 square foot retail space in downtown Detroit that we retrofit in like 6 hours. It's a blank space. It's used as an art gallery in the off time, and we go in there and we have like a storage unit in Detroit where like the GRiZmas shop lives. We have like Christmas trees, and like it's the most bizarre thing if you were to walk into the storage unit not during the holiday season. But so we walk in there and we completely retrofit everything. We get all the merchandise in. But at the start of this whole thing, I've been going through like the highs and lows of feeling like, wow, like I have all this time in the world to make music. Let's go. I feel so inspired. I'm on fire. And then other days where I'm like, this is awful. I hate everything. I'm a piece of shit. Depression is kicking my ass. And I don't even want to I just want to go to a beach where I want to be in Castaway, I want to Tom Hanks. Yeah, I want to find my Wilson right now, but I have a really amazing squad that works on GRiZmas with me, Jared Berman and Harrison Diskin, two of my closest friends. Jared Berman also runs my merchandising program, does all fulfillment and printing for the merchandise, and Harrison is also works at Live by Live. So like two of my best friends, and then we all work in the industry, so we're all kind of like on the same, we kind of know what's going on. And then we got like the red light team that helps, and I can't forget Catherine, so shouts out. But I was like, I don't know if I want to do this shit, because I wasn't just feeling like really good about it, and like it could be a good opportunity. So we went ahead and did it, and we did better fundraising this year than we did in any year past. And I think that the ways that we were able to put together the programming and have nights that were non-pay gated, and I just wanted to make the experience available to anybody who wanted to consume it. And if you don't have money to donate, like, dope. I'm so stoked that you are even going to donate like 50 cents, like whatever. Thank you for at least just showing up and giving us your attention and giving us your time. And we're here to hopefully put a smile on your face and give you some groovy tunes.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, you put a smile on my face and I'll be your Wilson, dog. But, man, the power of the internet's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's the biggest GRiZmas you've had, but maybe that's just been because it's just internet-based and stuff like that.
You're completely right. We have never offered like the GRiZmas programming or energy to our global platform, which is the internet, and or like intergalactic platform. Who knows? Maybe aliens are in the internet low key. That's kind of cool.
Dude, I fucking hope so, dude. That'd be so cool.
They're selling stuff on eBay. like
dude, UFO. I want to like if they're selling shit and I don't know about it, it's kind of cool, but I'm a little pissed off because I want to know who I'm buying from, dude. They say it's made in Italy. I want to be buying something that's made in Italy. If it's made in America, I want to be buying something made in America. Don't fucking trick me, dog. You know what I'm saying?
They're like made on Earth. Like
winky fake emoji, dude. Dude, how long does it take to put on not past experience, but for this one to you say just ideologically it was hard to put together. How long does that take to put together, to saying from the day of, hey, I think we're gonna do GRiZmas this year, I am down to do it, I'm feeling it, to actually getting it all together?
months.
Yeah.
It's like it's months long. If in so we start planning the events like the IRL Christmas in like July. That's when we typically have like our first Christmas conversation, and we're like, okay, cool, duh, we're gonna do it this year. And so we start like looking at the calendar. We already have our dates for next year's Christmas, and like we're building our calendar, and it's a delicate, excuse me, interplay of all the things going on in the music world, show world, within like the energy of the universe, and like trying to make sure that like we keep experimenting with like should like the Christmas shows fall on the weekend closest to Christmas, because we don't want to do it after Christmas because it'd be weird to throw Christmas after like this Christmas holiday. It's just like a
Definitely.
strange thing. So there's always the dates dictate so much, and so there's this big interplay and like just making sure that we can get everything in the on the board, because we do like last year we did a dodgeball competition downtown, so we need to get the space for that, find spaces for that, who's available, who can staff it. So and then we have 10 days of programming. So this year it was easier because we didn't have to like reach out to the bowling alley to see which dates they have available for us to rent the bowling alley to run this charity event. Like we're like, all right, cool, like Twitch is always open.
Yeah.
So we're good. So that made it that made it easier. It was definitely difficult doing like the Christmas Digital Charity Festival because all of the videos for that had to be submitted by like these massive artists that were asking to submit beforehand. So like following up with them, but everybody was like, surprisingly sounds like a dickhead thing to say, but everybody was pleasantly attentive and easy to work with. So that was such a good thing.
Do you say that because sometimes DJs are hard to get a response from at times?
Bro, if you're asking me for a DJ misc, I'm probably gonna do it like 20 minutes before it's due.
Yeah, right.
Like
For sure.
so. I just treat it as if it was me and I was the one slacking off on getting the shit done. I mean, like there's no lack of effort in like working on new music, but like that's the problem is like I'm going to be working on a brand new song and like being like, all right, cool, I got this DJ mix that's due tomorrow. How can I finish this song specifically so I can put it in that brand new mix thing, and like my focuses get all over the place, and I just want to work on music.
Oh man, and that's actually something I want to come back to. But what I want to ask is, y'all raised, I saw $60,000, correct?
We raised it was like weird. We raised a total of $125,000. But what happened was we did the,
Bruh.
the first night we did this fucking like this jazz night thing, and it was so wicked cool. It had uh, we had Borum Lee, Adam Deitch, Josh Fair, Borum Lee and Adam Deitch. So they play in Break Science, and Adam Deitch and also Eric Bloom was on it playing Lettuce, and then we got Kevin Donahue and Josh Fairman, who play guitar and bass respectively from Sun Squabby, and then Krishara Perrier, who is a Louisiana NOLA girl.
Hell yeah.
Shouts out.
Shout out, dude.
Shouts out to Who Dat
Who that,
Nation.
baby? What you know?
Uh, I don't know much, but I know enough.
I got this Drew Brees right here, but yeah, I'll let you finish, man. You got me hyped.
Let's go. But yeah, we had her, and myself, and that was our band. And so for the start of it, all the donations we have this like app thing that's called Tiltify that was running like the donation platform via Twitch. It's like an app integration for that platform. And for the first hour of us, 45 minutes, 50 minutes of us playing, we didn't get any donations through that platform. And we have this like teleprompter, like this TV facing us as a band as we're playing, and we're watching this thing. We have all these people tuned in and not one donation. And we're like, what the fuck is going on? But it's like, I'm like, okay, cool, play cool. It's fine. And I'm on the mic. I'm like, yo, like if you can donate, cool. If you can't, okay, clearly no one gives a fuck, but like, please,
Yeah.
like, but cool if you can, but also if you could, it'd be really tight. And so we're like, what is going on? And then we find out 45 minutes through, they're like, yeah, like the Tiltify donation like button isn't working. We finally got it to work. And so after the event through Tiltify, we're like, all right, we raised $10K for this event. We're like, oh, that's amazing, that's great. And then one of the directors on the Christmas board were like, actually, we was $14,000 donations that wasn't represented from PayPal, so the event actually raised 24K that night, and we're like, damn, bro, like we fucking
That's a
killed it.
that's a damn for show.
That's damn. So the total after like we had this like charity like raffle where I had some we had like Electric Forest donate some like VIP tickets and some Bonnaroo tickets and like a signed saxophone, other stuff like that raised 11K, and so there's other parts of it. So yeah, we fucking the community was really really strong and super behind it, and it's weird because typically in the Christmas year like everybody's in Detroit and there's this like camaraderie behind seeing people in our store and having these like in-person events so we can really feel the feedback in the moment, we can really
Yeah.
feel the energy of people around us. And it's so lit how like just like people are so stoked to be a part of something that is doing positive shit, and to be able to build and feel the energy of that community is like fucking it's priceless. And so after like doing this thing through the digital platform during it felt more disconnected, and that's where like if I can meditate on it and I can like open my heart to gratitude and this like general attitude of what the event did, and like really kind of get into how other people might be feeling, and like open my heart to that energy, I can get myself back to that space of like this like overwhelming gratitude. It's like that feeling you feel like on fucking ecstasy, when you're like, the world is all connected and like
Oh,
everything's so happy and great,
the fucking air
like
feels so good on my skin. The air just feels
yeah,
so good. Yeah.
exactly. Sharing is so cool. Who wants water? I'll never forget, man. I'll never forget like the first time like I actually like rolled my face off, and I was at this show, and dude, it was like you know when Neo is in like the first becomes like the one in the Matrix and starts seeing like the green code.
He knows everything, dude.
I can't relate that any better than what the fuck that is. Like I was like someone was like spinning poi, like LED poi. We're talking like 2008.
Yeah.
Someone's like spinning LED poi, and I'm like,
It makes sense.
that's fantastic. That's fantastic. I love that. And before that, I was like, what is this dumb? Like this, like not dumb, but like what is this shit? Like I didn't like get it. I was just like, I wasn't participating really. And I remember like I went to the bathroom. I was like, this is the like went pee in a porta potty. I was like, I love porta potties. These are awesome.
Dude, that was me the first time on mushrooms, dude. I just wanted to
Whoa.
tell everyone I fucking loved them, man. I just couldn't stop laughing.
It's a beautiful thing,
It
man.
is a
Like
beautiful thing.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, the whole story is a beautiful thing about the community, about everybody coming together. You're still making it happen this year and actually being better than it's ever been.
Yeah.
Being disconnected and everything. But what I want to ask is, like, whenever all this comes together, man, like, how are you picking these charities to donate to? Because I know even if I had a charity, if someone called me and was like, yo, dude, we got 60 grand for you, like, my first thing would be like, well, what do you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking you got there's some strings attached, dude. So
Right.
how are you picking these charities and stuff like that? Are these some of the same charities you've been using over the years and stuff, or just new ones every year?
We got better at finding a charity partner for this because the first two Grismases we were partnered. First two, or was it the first one? I think it was the first two. We were partnered with this charity called, it's a national charity. It's called Little Kids Rock, and Little Kids Rock is a fantastic charity. But it didn't satisfy the impetus for the intention for doing Grismas and raising money for a music charity. I feel like this, like if you're frustrated about something in society, don't bitch about it, do something about it.
Goddamn
So
right.
that was the thing. And I was like, this direct, it was like a result of this direct realization. And I was in fifth grade, were you allowed to choose an instrument in elementary school?
In fifth grade?
Yeah. Or like
Um,
middle school?
no, no.
During your public schooling, was there music programming where they like did instruments and stuff?
So there was. So I went to school in Mississippi and in Jackson, Mississippi, and I think we had a music program as far as like that you had to attend until the 5th grade, and there wasn't like they made you let you pick an instrument. It was like everyone had a recorder. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
We did the recorder shit too. Well,
yeah,
I was fortunate enough here in Michigan during my um, public school education. They in 5th grade they like were like, all right, here's all like the band and orchestral instruments.
yeah.
They did this little demo. It was like such a cool day. They like someone came in with like a cello and a violin and a flute and a clarinet and a saxophone and like a little snare set up and like they like did this whole demo for us. And that was my first introduction into like seeing these live instruments. And it was I thought it was the coolest thing. And they're like, now you can interact with these instruments. They like kind of let you touch them, and they brought up some certain kids who raised their hand to like try and play. And it was just like a jolly event.
Yeah.
My public school education provided music band classes from 5th grade through 12, and that was fantastic. That's where I learned how to play saxophone. That's where I got introduced to playing the saxophone, like that whole thing. I wouldn't have been playing saxophone had that music curriculum existed.
That's
The big
beautiful.
problem is that in Detroit in 2009 in downtown Detroit, over what is the stat? 70% of music uh, pu- uh, uh, public education music classes were canceled because the budget couldn't fill that anymore. So I'm like, damn, that's a large majority of kids going through the Detroit Public School DPS K through 12 program that no longer get that opportunity to even be exposed to music. And I'm like, that's fucking bullshit. Fuck that. Fuck the city of Detroit for investing their money into different places other than music education. I want to do something about that. So that was the big impetus. And the reason, long story short here, coming backwards to it, the reason why Little Kids Rock didn't turn out as like being like the aligning charity was that through the funds that we raised for those first 2 years, what they did is they hired a few teachers. There wasn't a Little Kids Rock program in Detroit. They hired teachers to train the teachers in their curriculum programming and then sent those teachers out to these schools. But the schools that they were sending these teachers out to already had music education classes. This was like an additional extracurricular, like after school thing. And I was like, that's not really what we're going for here and not how we're trying to help communities because we're not really like adding any value to like the enrichment of these kids experiences. I feel like this isn't really like hitting the places that I deserve this or need this the most. So
Yeah.
we had a year and we took like an entire year to try and find a new charity. And so I think it was year 3 of Grizmas. We were like raising money for a charity partner that we didn't have yet. And that was fucking awkward. Just being like, yo, come donate some money to us because we will inevitably donate this to a great place, you know?
Yeah.
And so we raised money through that year, and the money sat in a bank account as we were trying to find, well, not trying because we inevitably did, as we were finding a new charity partner. We met up, we got linked up through the systems that be with this group called 7 Mile Music. And that this is a charity program started by this kid Sam, who is a University of Michigan Ann Arbor graduate. And what he did was he went down after graduating through the music education program there, moved down to the Brightmoor neighborhood in Detroit. And I'm talking like this is like Ninth Ward type shit, right? Maybe that's how we can relate this to Louisianians,
New Orleanians, I
Nolians,
think. Yeah, I think that's
New
what they call it.
Orleanians.
Yeah, New
All right, cool.
Orleans. I might be
New
wrong. I've
Orleans.
been here for 4 years. I might be wrong.
Wait, let me check the dictionary. Let me check. Let me check. All right, it checks out.
We'll
Cool.
roll with it, dude. We'll roll with it.
Sick. So it's a tough neighborhood. A lot of like families that are super broken up and kids who don't have music in their schools.
Yeah.
Point blank. So this kid moves down there and for 3 years lives there, and that's a feat in and of itself. Being like this University of Michigan graduate who he didn't grow up in Michigan. I think he grew up in South Carolina, and teaches for free music classes, works a side hustle, a job, on the side to be able to make his income, lives in this neighborhood and starts meeting the like the matriarchs, the community figureheads within this neighborhood and the surrounding neighborhoods, figures out like, okay, cool, like I'm gonna like work out of these spaces. Who can I partner with? Who's got these spaces I can work out of so that I can like create this programming that I want to do. Fast forward a couple of years, gets a facility to do it that's strictly this like 7 Mile music program facility, and it's now run by University of Michigan graduate students. So it's a student-run program, and we are its main beneficiaries because they're the
Dude,
benefactors.
it sounds correct to me. Beneficiary?
Yeah, it's got a lot of syllables, you know.
I feel like you
So,
can make up a word and I'd still understand it, what you're trying to say with that, honestly.
but we've met with them a few times and we have a really strong understanding of what they're providing for the community. Have been to the spaces, did like a Dell commercial where like did a commercial spot with Dell, and so that Dell ended up donating a shit ton of laptops, and so now they have technology and a coding program so kids can do like art, music education, coding. It's like the fuck, this is so sick. It's
Hell yeah.
completely free. Transportation is free. It's an after school program and kids can come in, and another statistic that was cool was a few years back when they do their summer music program. It's like a summer music. That was dumb. It's just a summer music pro. It's a musical summer music program where they do music and stuff. And of the 30-ish kids that were in that program, they had a recital at the end that was attended by curriculum leaders for the Detroit Symphony Orchestra, and 22 of those kids were selected for scholarships to be selected into the Detroit Youth Symphony Orchestra. So that's like big shit.
Well, that's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah. So
Hell yeah.
that's what 7 Mile Music does. That's the kind of stuff that's like it's a community run program by the community, by community leaders with oversight. They understand what's going on in that program. We show up, dump huge bags of cash at their front door, and they can have a program that's sustainable, that helps kids grow into new opportunities, and like that's what we're doing. That's what we do.
That's
It's for the
beautiful.
community.
That's beautiful, dude. That's fucking
Yeah.
awesome. I mean,
Hell
Seven
yeah.
Mile Music sounds like a progressive rock band, but that's a cool name still. You know, it does. It is a cool name.
There's a lot of community led I was doing some research and I found a bunch of really awesome community led charities like this that are trying to supplement the lack of music education in schools. One of them is called the Orchid or the Orchard or the Orchid, probably the Orchard. And they, this lady who is she was the principal violinist chair. So that if you're the principal violinist chair, that means you were like the number one head honcho. You were first chair, the dopest at it in the
Yeah.
Baltimore Symphony Orchestra. She's the principal chair, and she won a Genius Grant. And with the Genius Grant, she opened up this project called the Orchard, and they went from like serving like a few thousand kids to now hundreds of thousands of kids in school programs and like and providing music education because she's a gangster and going after it that way. So it's like we're trying to or we're like we're just a shadow to this, but wanting to ever expand this ideology and this movement, to more people because I got way too deep into it, and I was meeting with the Carmanos Institute. They do like cancer research charity funding, and there was like a rift in the family, so they split, and the Carmanos Institute now does education charitable work in the Detroit public music system. So I was meeting with like the president. Her name is, I forgot her name, but I met her a few times over the past years, and we've been like kind of keeping up and talking and understanding. And I was like, I really want to do this thing. I want to put band classes in schools. And she's like, that's dope. But the thing you don't understand is like we are a company that is raising millions of dollars just to try and get the Detroit public school system's reading comprehension level back up to current because we're currently 2 years behind. Like we are
Shit.
like we're working on like bringing in better teachers. We're working on digitizing bus routes, digitizing the payroll for teachers who are working these jobs, not getting paid enough, and getting paid 3 months back pay. Like it's like I'm like, dude, there's so much here, and there's so much to know about like the education system in downtown Detroit. And I'm not even gonna get into like what like income taxes is doing, property value is doing in downtown Detroit, and like how that's affecting everything. So it's like it's I'm like this is a lot. And it's going to be really important for me to at least understand on a surface level some of the issues facing the kids, facing the parents, and facing the faculty members of school systems and the people that are supporting those, so that we can appropriately, accurately, and substantially change the way that we can. So that's Christmas.
Man, that's fucking awesome, man. I wish fucking Mississippi had a GRiZ. You know what I'm saying, dude? Maybe that
Dude.
maybe that will be me. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll be
I've-
Mississippi's GRiZ at some point.
Bro, you'll be Mississippi's taboo.
Oh, 100%. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll help the education system, dude, because they just handed us a recorder and they said fucking play Freebird. I think that's all they did.
Freebird on the recorder. No. At least give him My Heart Will Go On. Give me the Titanic soundtrack.
Wait, what is it? My love will carry on. That song, dude. You ever heard that mashed up with like? There's a YouTube
No, I've never
channel.
heard that mashed up with anything. Are you kidding?
No, dude. Space Jam mashes up with every song ever. There's this guy on YouTube that mashes up "My Heart Will Carry On" with Space Jam. My heart will carry on. Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Dude, it goes together, dude. You'd be like, holy fuck. Because it's like such a beautiful song, but then it gets like that break beat, and then you're like, oh shit, dude. Hey, you, what you gonna do? It happens, man. It does.
Yo, please send me this.
I will, bro. You think I'm scared?
Dude, fuck the collab. It's not a remix. We're remixing that.
That's
Please,
beautiful,
no.
man. It's dude. You gotta leave perfection alone, okay? They're Space Jam and everything out there, man.
That's
But dude, that's awesome, man. It seems like y'all are getting the money into the right places with the right people doing the right things, dude. That's awesome, dude. Hat tip to you if I was wearing one, but it's a hey, dude, you got the backwards. I got this one right here. But yeah, I kind of wanted to switch gears a little bit to something that you had mentioned a second ago. You had sat like you're like, when things were going wrong, I just sat and meditated and was grateful for it and stuff like that. Now with 2020 was such a like weird year, and like it was a really bad year for most people. And I actually sat down and thought about it, and I don't do much of meditating. I feel like I'm way too ADHD to do it, but honestly, that attitude going into it is probably a bad attitude to go into meditating. But when I sat and reflected on 2020, I actually realized, 2020 was a really good year for me, a really positive growth year, because I actually had a time to step away from music a little bit and kind of figure out other things in life that kind of make me happy, that kind of get me going on. For the longest, I've been performing since I was 13, so since I was 13, performing was that thing I always did to really make me happy. And when that was taken away from me, I had to figure out other things to kind of get me there. Was there a moment, because you say you meditating, right? Was there a moment whenever you kind of sat down and maybe focus on those things? And if you did, what were those things that kind of you can reflect on now as 2020 being a great year for you? I know that's a lot in a question, man.
No, it's okay. I'm feeling it right now.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with a few friends the other day, and I think the mental gymnastics that I was doing at the start of this pandemic was a very detrimental thing to my mental health, and that really represented itself as non-acceptance of the situation, but like pretending through more destructive behaviors that I was like having fun, and that really represented itself as just like drinking all the time, and like I was like, oh, every day is like a sleepover, and like that's cool, and I'm just like checking out, and it caught up with me. Then encountering those moments of deep sadness and moving through those with acceptance rather than um, uh, trying to control. Typically, in my world, the way that I built things is that as a music producer, I am a controlling person. I I manifest and I create, and I also do exactly what I want when I want it, and have built a life that has served me that way. It's benefited me because what I've always wanted to do was to work and to be busy, and that's what I've constantly been on. This was a huge fuck you to the personal value set that I built for myself my entire professional career, because instead of the universe being what it was and something being unattainable and being able to push the wall past or jump over the wall or make that hurdle or whatever it was, the hurdle was not the universe. The hurdle was my own inability or unwilling to put in the time and effort to get what I wanted, to get where I wanted. And if I could wrangle in and muster my own depth of hard work and willingness to sacrifice, I could always mount that hurdle. I always got what I wanted because I was able to sacrifice everything to do the things that I felt necessary to be able to get to that thing. Now, this pandemic was the first time that the universe said, you can't do shit to push. You're going to keep pushing yourself. And that was hard. That was a new challenge. It's very difficult for me to come to terms with spiritually, because I was having a difficult time pushing the universe to try and do something that I wanted it to do. And every single time I got to the next step, I realized that I was already falling before I even fucking knew it. There wasn't a step. I was racing up a fucking ladder, or racing up a set of stairs, and the top landing was always a straight shot back down to where I started.
Yeah.
The amount of times that I've planned something new, that I wanted to do a certain idea, that the universe said no due to extenuating circumstances, was this past year, and it's not going to change in 2021 nor in 2022. Everything is going to consistently change. There's, for me, for other people, different scenario, but for me, it's going to consistently change. The best thing, the reason why I can find this year to be such a beautiful year, is that I was able to surpass, move through the obstacle that was really just this mirror self that I was trying to change and trying to push past. I was able to move through that obstacle by shedding kind of the skin of what I used to be doing, which was always trying to change the world around me and bend it to my will, because I was so good at doing that through a musical sense, bending ideas and emotions and manifesting this magic into sound. And then now it's like, can't do that with the universe anymore, man. It's just not gonna happen. So really, that conversation I was having with my friends was like, how are you feeling? I was like, I feel fucking cool. And it's like, why do you feel cool? And it's like, because I'm less of a dickhead to myself that I used to be last year. I can accept not doing shit. I can accept shit going wrong. I'm so much better at like something not happening and changing and making such a better situation out of it. I mean, look at fucking GRiZ. That was like, that's the whole thing, man. It's like, I can change to my environment, and I can accept these things that are going on and just let shit go a lot better. It's been a great year to practice that and sharpen the skill.
Dude, I love that, because it mirrors a lot of the feelings that I have felt and things that I had did, man. Like, I was like same boat. Like, if I wanted something, I was going to do whatever I could and work as hard as I could to be able to get to that point. You know what I mean?
Right.
And once that's taken away,
Totally.
it was like, fuck, man, what do I do now? And so I was able to,
What did you do?
dude, I focused more on this podcast. I really put a lot of energy into and a lot of emotion into here, and building kind of a community around that, not just the music. And also for like at the end of December, for the last 3.5 months, I hadn't made a single dubstep track. I had just been working on a comedy album. It's a full musical comedy album. And I've just been like, it just felt a little weird making like these bangers when I'm not able to kind of feed off of people's vibes or whatever. So I'm like, fuck it, dude. I'm going to make a country song. Country songs will be about whiskey. I'm going to write a song about whiskey dick. You know what I mean? So it's just like, so I was able to kind of just put that energy out and into music, stuff that I've always been able to do. Because music's always been like, whatever my surrounding is or the energies that I'm getting, I'm able to kind of take those and put them into my music, right? And whenever those vibes and energies are changing, I was like, well, now I'm just left with my goofy ass self and my ridiculous thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Not my thoughts, but like my thoughts. And I'm just able. And I'm just able.
These thoughts got a G in it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay.
Exactly, dude. 1G. And and so I'm able. And honestly, making that album really made me a better producer, a better engineer, a better songwriter, but I feel like it made me feel better as a person because I was able to kind of put a little piece of me that was more genuine or a different, like it was honestly in a way more genuine than a lot of the dubstep and stuff I had made, which obviously has been genuine to me, but this was like with just me alone in a room with nothing else in the world going on but just my emotions. And so this in a way was just kind of me putting out goofiness, which has always been my thing, was just like I just like dancing and laughing. That's my two favorite things in the world. So I'm gonna put that into a musical project, and I've never made an entire concept album, and I was able to do it, dude. So I think without
Is it out?
No, I just finished it about 4 weeks ago. I can send it to you if you're.
Wow.
If you're it's honestly the best thing I've ever done, and honestly, without COVID or without 2020, I don't think I would have ever been able to express that side of myself. So for that, I've been able to realize I'm very grateful for, and I wouldn't have changed anything else in order to have that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that might have never have happened, without this situation.
Exactly.
There's a lot of silver linings in this really like dark thing. It's all perspective.
I've always said
assign
that, man.
meaning and perspective.
Yeah.
What was I? I find it so interesting that no, I don't find it. Well, I do find it interesting, but I'm recognizing this correlation between people who make music, people who do something that they might be known for, and like the myriad talents that they have and or like other interests. I think the cool thing for me in an observational sense during COVID was to see so many like random interests pop up on social media stuff from people that I respect and really enjoy. And like, yeah, man, like we're these multifaceted, like disciplinarian creatures that like all these sorts of different weird cool shit, and
Yeah.
that's been really dope to see people really kind of popping out of their shell and going for it and taking risks, whether that's you made sourdough starter for the 5th to 100 millionth time to get it right, or you're writing a comedy album. I think that's really cool.
That is true, man. There is a lot of stuff out there that it's all about perspective. You focus on the good stuff that has happened, dude, and I feel like you just live a happier life and things like that, man.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of some things that you did do last year, a little bit of a switching gear other than the deep stuff, man. Obviously, you've been putting out these bangers EPs, man. And, they are what the title is. It's just nothing but straight bangers, dude. So, and I feel bangers, man. And I feel like the way you've been doing it is, most people nowadays, when you make a song, you sit on it for a little bit. There's this whole marketing plan behind it. You let it grow. You play them out for a little bit. Let them grow at festivals. Other DJs playing them out. For you said fuck that. From my perspective, at least, was like you were just saying fuck that, dude. I'm gonna make a song. I'm gonna fucking make it with this DJ, the other producer that I like. And we're gonna put this shit out next month, dude. And has I kind of been have the mindset about that? Has it been like, I don't want to put too much thought into it. I just want to make dope music and get it out to the public now? Or are these songs that you actually have been sitting on for a little bit? And how many more of these bangers EPs are you gonna do?
Bangers 1 million, dude. I would love to see bangers 100.
That'd be gnarly, dude. That'd
No,
be
that's what I
sick.
call bangers 100.
No,
I
that's
want to
what.
be I want to be played out, dude. No, I no, it's I used to release music only on SoundCloud. That's where it really started,
Yeah,
and back when SoundCloud said hedge at the top instead of hey, because it was like it's like a Norwegian company, I think originally.
I didn't even know
Um,
that. Yeah.
and it was a HEJ, and I was like, why does it always say hedge? Um, this is a while ago though, so uh, but it was really cool. I still think SoundCloud is cool. It was different though, cause I like reminiscing about the past a little bit, but I also like shouts out to the future. But
Hell
in
yeah.
the days where it has started, there it was like 90% glitch hop music on SoundCloud, and it was a very small community. And like the biggest producer at the time on SoundCloud was like Knit Grit. Like he was like getting like hundreds of thousands to like a few million plays on like SoundCloud tunes. And at the time I was like, dude, whoa, that's crazy. And like it was like Mochi Pet and Stefan Jacobs and like the Daily City Records crew and like Glad Kill shouts and like Freddie Todd and who was also on SoundCloud. Anyways,
Freddy's a
whatever.
good dude. I like that guy.
Him and I started making music at the same time and place. Like we were both working on Fruity Loop Studio at his parents' house at the age of 15, like stealing his parents' wine. Like that was our come up.
Hell yeah, dude.
We would
We
like
used to
steal his parents like jugs of wine.
we used to sell. My parents had a liquor wardrobe. We used to go in there. We just had one rule because my stepdad loved to drink Crown. We're like, we can drink whatever the hell we want, just don't touch the Crown. And I was there during Christmas
Wow.
break. Me and my brother were drinking their liquor, and my stepdad's like, dude, why didn't y'all drink the Crown? We're like, that's the number one rule we've always set for ourselves.
Did you eventually like come to them with like we're coming clean with like how much of your booze we stole back in the day?
Dude, they knew, but they didn't care. We didn't
You
get in
been caught?
trouble as long as we didn't touch the Crown, bro. It was like that was that was it, man. We was good, dude. There would be times where we even put water in the fucking liquor bottles, and they would just be like, "Fucking kids." But as long as if we touched the Crown, we'd be in trouble. If we didn't, we'd be good, dude.
Yeah,
Anything
yeah.
goes, bro.
You just might
Anything-
get spanked for some shit like that, For real.
Yeah, dude. Don't touch the Crown.
No, yeah, bro. Yeah. Um.
How to sell
Bro.
that story just reminded me of you and Freddie Todd, man.
Yo, dude, so I mean, we shit. We used to do that shit nonstop. Like my parents had like vodka. We'd always steal their vodka, pour water back into it. Like I would drink like whatever we could get my hands on. Like my parents had like vermouth, like dry vermouth. They'd like pour that in a fucking cup and drink it. Nasty, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
Not a good way to get drunk.
You drink some moonshine where I'm from, dude, and your eyes might be going out a little bit. You're like, this is good, man. This is the good stuff.
Great. Tight. Fuck yeah. So it was SoundCloud or this early thing. It was
I know I got you off topic, bro. My bad.
It's all good, man. It's whatever. And yeah, it was like the small thing, and it was cool though because it was like you just like I'd like finish a song and like I'd just sit there and be like, all right, it's done. SoundCloud,
Yeah.
which also you probably seen it on Ableton, but it's like send to SoundCloud button like direct.
Dude, I want to know what big DJ is gonna do that first because I don't think it's happened yet. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
gonna submit my album straight to SoundCloud from Ableton.
Do it, dude. Do it, pussy. Like, what you waiting on, bro?
It's so much, but it was cool because it was like a real ass like feedback board for your tracks. Like people would be like, "Oh, you could mix your kick louder." Like, I really loved what you did with the low pass filter. Like, "Oh, dude, is that a comb filter? Like, how'd you make that sound? Grain table synthesis? Wow!" Like, tell the thing, like how'd you? It's like, what shelf did you put your EQ at to get this thing? And it was like cool. I was learning so much and like asking producers questions, and there'd be this whole thing. I thought it was so cool that you could, at a certain point in a song, like comment something at this specific time, be like, right here, that, right
Yeah,
here.
right.
That is dope.
This part right here.
That's the one. It's the Wubs for me right here for me, you know?
Yeah.
Which I still think that that's the coolest part of SoundCloud and they were just anyways, so that was super dope. Um, and that was the attitude going into this thing because like I had just come off of this album that I came out with called Ride Waves, and like that
Love it.
was like it was like the penultimate of like let's do the so much promo, and we're gonna fly to Los Angeles and fucking meet all of the Apple Music people and do the Beats radio thing and do voiceover drops and do every single advertisement swipe up video for every single DSP. Hey, you're listening to GRiZ, and this is Pandora Music. Swipe up to check out Ride Waves. Like do the whole thing for all the tour promo. It was just like this big ass fucking like huge project that was so at the end annoying. I was like, dude, fuck this. But it was like, you know what, man? Like, if you want this shit to go that way, you got to play the game. Let's play the game. And like shouts like honestly, I'm not saying that in the sense of like, yo, like hitting on like my managers for putting this like big thing in front of me. Like they did so much to create such a large success for this album that was so much beyond the EDM community. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, dude, like I kind of just want to like write.
Looking at it with the glasses too, bro. You're really looking at it.
I just kind of want to just make EDM music for the EDM kids and myself, who's an EDM kid, at heart, and just like make some banger shit that like I think is cool. And originally it was like, yo, this is going to be an album and I'm just going to release a bunch of music. Like I wanted to be Beyonce, but like the EDM Beyonce moment, like be like, oh, what's up? It's the album. It's here.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, hell yeah,
I brought
dude.
how to join you, baby. What's up? We both fly as hell.
Do I have I don't have any sunglasses.
Well, I have my glasses, my real glasses, in the other room, and I'm also wearing my contacts, so I might destroy my eyes in that point. But continue. You was Beyonce. You was trying to be Beyonce.
I was trying to be Beyonce. My manager's just like, yo, we should just do this EP series because we'll get a lot more life out of it, and we can just drop these things off whenever. And like, I know it'll make you really happy. And I was like, all right, that sounds fucking dope. And now we're at Bangers Heaven, right? And we're gonna do more. I mean,
did you say Bangers Heaven, dude? Because that's what you have
Bangers
me, dude.
It's heaven. So we'll do more, man. I'm working on my next conceptual project, which it's going to be a new endeavor for like the GRiZ thing and doing something kind of a little bit different. And it's just really gearing towards had cool things, man. Dance music, man. Have fun times, dude. Cool shit.
Dude.
And then fucking yeah.
It's all about the good time, baby. What you think?
I go way too into like deep into my head about shit sometimes. Like creating these like overarching big conceptual albums are really fun, but also just like getting some music off my chest and putting it out feels really fucking good. So I'm gonna keep doing it.
It does, man. That it does. I can say yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, dude. Well, let me ask you this, man. Which one was the bigger payoff? Doing these large conceptual albums where you're working with multiple musicians, multiple artists such as Snoop Dogg, Wiz Khalifa, writing songs about guns, writing songs about love, all that stuff, or writing these things like GRiZtronics, or, writing these things like Ice Cream. Which ones have been the bigger payoff? These big conceptual albums, or just these things are like, fuck it, man, I'm going to put it out there and see what rolls.
For things like the Ride Waves project, I mean, there's so much music in there. Like I wrote the majority of the lyrics on it. So when you're listening to the lyrics, you're listening to kind of like my head and what I was thinking about. The album is like kind of I write a lot of lyrics out of like really sad things. And in my own life that I'm like, I just put it on for myself. It's like, yeah, I'm like, my personal sadness. And I write it in a song. It's a huge point of catharsis for me. And I feel like that represents myself very honestly. So I'm like, that's the energy I'm gonna give off. Like I did this tour in 2017, and I think, and then it was a moment of. Are you there?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Let's go. I did this tour in 2017, and I broke down. Like there's this moment on the tour where I was dealing with some like mental health issues. Personally, and this kid like jumps up on stage and somehow like gets on stage and is like dancing around this like jacked like shirtless bro dude who's muscle muscle boy thing, you know? And he's just all sweaty and shit. And our stage manager goes up to him and is like, "Hey, dude, like, this is while like crazy dubstep's playing. He's like, "Hey, dude, like, time to get off stage, okay?" So like, you know, just like not even touching him, just kind of like doing one of these. Dude won't listen. Now he's kind of like holding him, pulling him, and then it turns into a fight. And this dude like grabs our stage manager by like the shoulders and like front flips him and onto the stage on some MMA shit. And I stopped the show, and our stage manager dislocates his shoulder because of this, and he just goes to the hospital. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I stopped the show. I'm like, this is fucked up. And thankfully, it was at the end of the show, so like we didn't have like a lot of runtime left to have to like really buck up to the whole thing. But I was wrecked. I got back on stage. I was like, listen, I'm gonna play like two chill songs. I know you guys paid to be here, so I'm gonna play these two chill songs, and then we're gonna get out of here. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for being here. This is not, he'll be okay, whatever. And I remember just crying after that and just like feeling so um, lost in the intention of like what this was all about. And I understand that it's such an isolated incident, but when you put on top of that, like spending less than 3 weekends at home with friends and family a year for 8 years straight, and like like substance abuse, it was too much. So I quit social media, and I went sober and got really deep into like my like personal mental health for all of 2018 to like shut my brand down. I was like, fuck this, like this is awful. And Ride Waves was kind of written out of that. A lot of deep thoughts in there and feelings that I had during that time, and so it feels really satisfying, and like a huge amount of depth and emotional depth goes into that. I mean, like I was listening, making this music and crying and being so on my feels about it. And it's like, ooh, like, I feel so much. And here's the song, and it's a song, and honestly, man, like putting that much energy into that music is also so fucking draining. And then like when you play it and people fall in love with it, you got to play these fucking songs every night,
Mm.
And I had this tour where it was a time coded show. I wasn't DJing during the show. I was performing. There was choreographed dance moves with horn players and like stage magic and all this shit, man. Like it was a lot. It was a lot of shit, and it was super fun. And I wouldn't ever do it differently, because it was something that was insane. And after the whole thing, I was just like, man, that's just like a lot of emotional energy to put out there. So I'm finding a lot of peace and solemnity in writing just like fun bangers that just kind of fucking make me happy. So
Yeah.
this is where I'm at now. I feel great.
At the same time, you going into, because I honestly, going back to what you had said, you had shut your social medias down. Whenever that was happening, I remember hitting up Brock. I was like, Brock, like, what's up with GRiZ, man? I was like, do you know anything? Like, because I know the whole community was kind of like, what the fuck is going on? And now I
Right.
know what that is now, which is crazy, because I didn't even think to ask that today, which was something that I should have. But you kind of isolating yourself, putting all this emotions and these mental health things into music, is because I've had experiences like this. Whenever I put it into that, it's a kind of like a weight lifted off of my shoulders. Whenever you were able to kind of create this and put it into a song and finally get the idea and the whole story off of you, did it kind of, did that help you be able to come back? Did it feel like it was a weight lifted off of your shoulders?
I th- um, Enjoying those songs from the perspective of the process of writing them. I think that's what those songs were for me,
Yeah.
was to write them, just like you said. Um, Life is process for me, and there's no finality for anything. Songs are like living, breathing storybooks of a moment, of an emotion, of a time. Doesn't really matter like the depth. I mean, you can find your own depth in fucking Lil Pump's Gucci Gang if you want. You could have a cultural analyzer go through that song and be like, well, this has all this real meaning in it because of the life that was lived and the thought process that went into it. Right now, kind of like fuck Lil Pump for his whatever he's doing now. But that's my own shit. But
He's
and
in the back yelling 4 more years. That's what he's doing.
bro, come on, come
That's what
on.
he's doing, dude.
That song is objectively bad. It is an objectively bad song. Whatever. I'm not gonna play that part.
Hell yeah. Hell
But
yeah.
but at any rate, the songs have their lives to them, and so songs, even when they're finished, I still believe that they are songs in process. You know, we have these like movements and cycles of fashion of like the sound of songs, and it's like, yeah, something like GRiZ right now is played out. I got to play that song like, you know, like for a year, for like 4 months
I
before it
was about
got
to
played
say,
out.
there's no way it was a whole year, man.
For like, and I was like, I'm like away from that shit now. I'm like, I don't even want to associate myself with that song, you know, because I'm like, it's kind of, I just see it as it's funny to me now. I'm like, that's hilarious. That
You're
is
so mainstream, bro. So mainstream.
so mainstream.
You've changed, bro. You've
Yeah,
changed.
dude. I can never be what I want. I swear.
You're just this puppet, and they're fucking playing you, dude.
Bro, yeah, man, you can't wait. Whatever. The player gets played, can't play in this year. Whatever. Anyways, yeah, I they have these live streams, and I believe in, like, you know, 10 years from now, like those songs like that we've like heard a million times, like I Can't Stop by Flux Pavilion, for example, I think kind of like hit this, it probably hit the same sort of like vibe for Flux. You know, he probably felt the same way. He's like, this fucking song, god damn it, you know, like it always works, but fucking A, you know. But now, like, you play that shit after it's kind of cooled out a bit, and it's beautiful. Like,
oh yeah,
everyone's like, thanks for playing that, man. That was a real, you know. So it, and just like your perception of where you're at in life, like the way that's, you know, how you consume music. So I think that something like Ride Waves in the moment meant such a different thing to me than it does now. I have a lot of like a more mature, like that album has grown up for me. It's no longer in its infancy. It's a lot more mature of an album. It's had time to like ruminate and exist in the universe, and I feel connected to it in such a deep and different way than I did when I was recording it. And I'm really, really happy that I've been able to go through a lot of those traumas and come to like great resolutions. And instead of these things feeling like cathartic and sad, they really feel celebratory and victorious at this moment. So
yeah. That's awesome, man. And going into what you said about like those older songs you play, and you're like, yeah, bro, you play one of them hoochie songs and them Stooky Sound songs from back in like 2014.
woo!
Right, watch a crowd just lose their shit. You know what I mean?
Bro, mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, man, but I mean, me personally, with even just doing that comedy album this year, you know, I actually, like, the songwriting lyrically has come from like a personal place. And then I might take like a serious part. I'll write lyrically, it'll be like a serious part, but then I might take some serious things, add some goofy stuff there. But even just writing like some of these like personal things, and in a way it has felt like a weight lifted off my shoulders, even though I didn't have any type of like, you know, mental health things with it. It just kind of felt like growth from just kind of getting them out there.
Well, I as a kind of like to make an alternate sort of like opinion here, I really do feel like comedy comes from a place of like trauma, and comes from a place of like a struggle, or comes from a place of difficulty or awkwardness, you know. And the reason why comedy to me is so fucking awesome is because I can, like, through the lens of somebody else, like put on those glasses and like see that perspective through like their perspective and their twist on it, have it like kind of hit home in this relatable way, and be like, yeah, it's funny because like I've been through like that shit that's like, you know, like fucked up like that, and now let's just laugh at it because like we can. And that's comedy's so important, because we need to be able to laugh at this shit that drove us so crazy.
Oh, 100%, man. I've been preaching that, like, if you ever see one of my stand-up sets, I'm literally just making fun of myself 90% of the time, you know what I mean, and stuff shit that I did when I was a kid, and my parents, majority of it, dude. So it's just like comedies, I feel like, is a necessity because it's able to like make fun of yourself, and also if you can't reflect on yourself and just laugh at some of the dumb shit that you've been through or some of the dumb shit you said, man, you got something going on, man. You got to be able, like, everything from my perspective, everything is just so goofy. You know what I mean? It's just like everything's just so silly. Everything, dude. Even the serious stuff is just so silly.
We really do take life so seriously, man. I mean, it's it's dynamic. We're dynamic people. There's all sorts of highs and lows in here, and I'm really here to accept the sadness and accept the goofiness and accept all of it because I don't want to miss out on any bit of it. I want to be here for all of it.
I do too, man. You just got to hit them with the high and the low. You know what I mean? Mission the high and low.
Hit them with the high and the low, yeah.
A little Minnesota reference right there, dude. You know what I mean?
Bro, yo, we did this Christmas charity event, and it was a quiz. It was like a game night, like a quiz night, and it was like where was the miracle on 73rd Street? I think that's the title of it, 72nd Street or some whatever. Filmed, and I didn't know the answer to these questions. I didn't make the questions, and it was like New York, Chicago, Minnesota, Los Angeles, and I was like, oh yeah, I think it's definitely Minnesota, and I'm like, that's stupid to be like, yeah, the great city of Minnesota is definitely where this was filmed. Fucking idiot.
Yeah, dude, good job, man. You obviously lost that round, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
So now that's like our like GRiZ fam Twitch joke is Minnesota. Shouts out Minnesota. My favorite city.
Is that where that came from? It was just that day where you just tweeted Minnesota. It was just out of nowhere, dude. Because listen, I'm a little bit, even though I'm a podcaster, dude, I'm a little bit of a researcher. Okay, I made sure whenever I got onto this episode with you that I was ready for whatever. I checked them tweets out, Daddy. I'm fucking going through and seeing what's up.
You gotta. I like the homework you made. The man knows. But yeah, I tweeted Minnesota, and everyone's like, dude, I fucking love his music. I'm like, it's my favorite city, bro.
Yeah, it's my favorite city, dog.
Get on the program. I gotta I'm really just making fun of myself more often because
good.
Like you said, dude, like being goofy. Fuck.
Everything's goofy. Dude.
Everything's goofy. Wow. Album title right there. Everything's goofy.
No, actually, the album, the album title is "Songs Your Wife Leaves You To." It's the name of the album.
Songs Your Wife Leaves You To.
That's the name of the comedy album.
So is the energy? It's like the song that she rolls away in her car after leaving the crib, and she puts on your record.
So I made sure, I knew with the album, I wanted to challenge myself as a producer, so I made hip hop, pop, rap, pop punk, metal, country. I did it all, but it's that vibe of yeah, you're leaving me.
Damn. Hard realization. So shit. I'm excited for this. It's gonna be cut deep.
It's gonna be fun, dude. It's gonna be fun, dude. But look, I wanted to ask you something about riding waves because you did have mentioned it, man. What was it like working with Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa? Were you actually able to get into the studio with them? Was there a moment where you're like, damn, I gotta fucking smoke more weed than them because that's what they're known for? And you're pretty much like that Snoop Dogg of EDM, even though you're trying to be that I forgot who you said you were trying to be at the EDM, but
Bill Murray.
Yeah, Bill Murray. What was it like working with them? And were those, you said you wrote a lot of the album. Were those songs that you kind of went to them with hey, I have these lyrics or this idea together? And yeah, just tell me that whole experience because those are just two artists that not a lot of EDM producers are able to say, yeah, I did a track with them. No big deal,
Right. Here's the most honest answer to these questions. The Wiz Khalifa feature happened because I really wanted Chance the Rapper for the feature, and at the time I was like, dude, this song is perfect for his backpack rap energy. he was like, his manager was like, I'll show it to him. I got you. I'm like, great. Like holding on to the song months later, I got you. I'll show it to him in the next quarter. I'm like, all right, great. He's like, I showed it to him. He loves it. We're gonna do it. I'm like, great. Doesn't happen. Okay, I'm like, dude, I'm done chasing this feature. So I was like, all right, I want somebody who's kind of got that attitude that's famous so we can get a lot of plays because having popular music is going to make me money, which is dope. And so we're like, let's ask, X amount of people, and Wiz Khalifa was one of the names. So they hit us back. They're like, great, we love it. Pay us the fucking money. And Wiz will record it in his house and he'll send it over. I'm like, all right, cool. So that whole thing happened very fast. And I was honestly expecting it to kind of suck. Is Wiz Khalifa my favorite rapper? No. Do I pick my like hip hop features very well? No. There's a plethora of like other MCs and voices in hip hop that I would love to work with that I just haven't made the space or time to do that. And with this song, we were trying to get this shit done. We got to connect. It landed. And actually, the good thing is that it turned out really cool, man. Like the content of what he's talking about really matched up with the song. Maybe it comes off a little bit cheesy, but hey, the song's a little bit cheesy in the first place, and I kind of like some cheesy shit sometimes.
I love cheesy, man. Some of my favorite songs that I've ever listened to have been cheesy stuff, man. There's nothing wrong with cheesy. I like catchy. You know what I'm saying? I just like catchy.
Catch.
And
I love
sometimes
catchy.
cheesy can be catchy, dude. I don't give a damn, dude. If I like it, I like it, dude.
So that was a really important song to me at the time because that was like that I wrote that song in that tour where I like stopped doing the music thing for a minute. Like that song. Actually, I had finished writing that song in Philadelphia, playing at the Fillmore in this like coffee shop just down the way. And I remember writing that, and I was just like deep in my feels for it. And so that was an important song. And then the Snoop Dogg's one was literally the same thing. It was like, hey, like let's get somebody who's popular on this shit that you like to lace it up. And I was like, all right, cool, let's do this thing. Honestly, I feel like we rushed into it, and if I was gonna do another song with Snoop Dogg, I'd do it way differently. And the feature was super phoned in. The lyrics are like super whatever. They're fun, but like it's nothing crazy, My favorite verse on that is the Colin does two verses, and the verse that I never play is actually the outro verse.
And that beat is so cold,
like a
dude.
Beat switch up.
Yeah, that beat is so cold.
That's actually my favorite part of the song, low key. The other parts are cool too, but I don't know. That's why my friends and I keeps having more parts to it because I'm like, it's almost exactly the song that I wanted, but it was a cool song for the time, and I didn't want to not release it. So
right
there it was.
That's kind of nuts. Like, I was wondering if you're actually able to get in the studio with them. Because I know, dude, if I got in a studio with, like, Snoop Dogg or Wiz, dude, they'd be like, man, hit this blunt. I'd be like, ha, 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 I'm good, man.
And you wouldn't smoke weed with them?
I would. Of course. Would I be able to produce under pressure while I'm high? That is the question. You know what I mean?
Nah, dude, you wouldn't walk into that studio session with nothing on your recents, dude. You would have tons of fire shit. You walk in there correct.
That's entirely true. But what if they're just like, hey man, let's make something from scratch. Hit this. I'd be like,
bro, then I'd be like, hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, grab my computer and bring it to the bathroom and like pull up an old session real quick and just save everything as like an ADJ or ADV file or whatever that you can like drag it over to the left and just be like, weep, and be like, look at this.
Bro, I just made this shit in the bathroom, dog.
I don't know. There's, also it would make for a great life story. That's an experience that you would want. You would want to, at least for me, like, I don't want to back away from the fucking situation. If they're like, let's eat a tab of L and smoke 2 blunts, I'd be like, okay, you know what? We're just going to go all the way in.
Yeah,
and,
dude.
We're going to end up like, yo, does this studio have a fucking like kid's xylophone? Because like, we're just going to like light this shit on fire. Dude, like, let's go.
I ain't scared, bro. You want me to fucking butt chug a PBR upside down and produce it while I'm doing a headstand, dog? I'm there, dude.
You got to do that with fucking Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg in the studio, I think that would be sort of the craziest shit.
That would be awesome, man.
I'm saying, like, just fucking live life,
Bro,
just like, I don't know. Let's go for it. Why not?
Dude. I love the perspective, dude. Because honestly, I ain't scared of shit, bro. I'd do it.
I'm maybe a little scared, but like, let's go. Fuck it. That's it. That sounds interesting. At least it'll be interesting. Like,
Good story, dude. It's the one. That's what they'll. It'll be a wise tale, dude. In 1,000 years, you know what I mean? They'll be. Like,
I don't want to like look back on my life and be like, man, I really wish I would have done blank.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
You had the opportunity
to butt chug a beer with them, and you didn't do it.
What? And you didn't butt chug beer? Come on. You know, it's just like, you know, fuck. That's so like, that's just like, I mean, not like the idea of you butt chugging a beer, you know, like great.
I don't know. That idea gets me excited anyway.
But like, just like fresh ideas and like getting that, like doing thing, whatever the thing is, just do it to the maximum. Like catch me at a music festival, like gone off LSD, dancing at a silent disco. That's what I'm gonna be doing. Because it doesn't have to be drugs, you know, but like I'm just saying, if someone's got some, just let me know. Like it's fine. Like we can hang out. I'm just kidding. I don't do drugs ever.
Whatever, dude. I mean, catch me outside. How about that? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
dude. I don't do drugs ever. As you fucking smoke weed before the podcast, that is a drug, Grant. Weed is a drug.
I guess it is. Yeah, it's the gateway drug.
It's the gateway, dude. What did it gateway to you, bro?
Fuck. Really appreciating things. I think weed is the most amazing thing to just like I can just smoke a little bit and really just fucking appreciate a really soft sweatshirt.
Ooh.
Just like, God, that's such a soft sweatshirt. Or like,
I like a hoodie. I like the comfort of a hoodie when I'm stoned.
Yeah. Oh, it's so nice. And then like, or just, yo, go get high and walk into a 7-Eleven and don't tell me that it's not an amazing place. And everything's so cheap. And you can just go get a Slurpee and a fucking chocolate bar.
Dude, go get high, go to a DMV and tell me it ain't the best day of your life, dog. You know what I mean?
Yo, I'll take any mundane activity and I'll put some weed behind it and I like catch me at the grocery store listening to an audiobook, super stoned, just so happy.
You're like, yeah, but have you done it on weed?
Dude, yeah. Yeah, I'm not high all the time, but I mean...
But I wish, bro.
But I fucking wish, though.
But I fucking wish, man.
There's some shit that I really can't do high. One of those things is, like, I really can't, like, practice saxophone super consciously stoned, so I gotta get that shit done, like, in the morning.
Yeah.
I can't do math when I'm really high. I don't have to do it very often, but, you know, I can't do that. I don't think that...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. I feel like I can't be taboo whenever I'm high. You know what I mean?
That's okay, man.
When I'm high, like, because I say a lot of dumb shit, Grant. You know what I mean? Like, I have a mentality of not giving a fuck. But whenever I'm stoned, I'll give a fuck, bro. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, it can work like that.
I shouldn't be saying this shit.
Yo, there was a long time where, like, I would smoke the smallest amount of weed and I'd be like, I'm having a panic attack.
That's me on edibles, bro. For real.
Oh no, yeah, I don't fuck with that. I don't fuck with that, dude. I was on a family vacation very recently, and I was out. It was in like up north in Michigan, and my stepdad had these edible gummies that my brother gives him because he doesn't like smoke the weed, but he'll like do the edibles thing, and. It's why are edibles so potent? Whose fucking idea was that?
Dude, whose idea was it just to eat weed? You know what I mean? Like, that's some fucked up shit, dude.
Dude, whose idea was it to fucking... oh my... Well, of course it was someone's idea to eat weed. Are you kidding? You get high, you see the weed, it looks all pretty. I'm definitely going to try to eat this.
Dude, it stinks, though, dude. You trying to eat some stanky food? You're like, that shit's rotten, bro.
Okay. Do you like cheese?
I love cheese.
Cheese stinks, dude. What are you talking about?
It don't smell like weed, Grant. You know what I'm saying?
What? Dude, they have a strain of weed called cheese, dude. Come on. What?
Dude, and I ain't trying to fucking eat that either. You know what I'm saying? Listen, dude, you call weed.
Yo, they got a strain of weed called Rainbow Cookies, dude. You want to eat that shit? Come on,
bro. You fucking call weed whatever you want it to. I ain't fucking I ain't putting it on my sandwich and fucking trying to melt it on the fucking bun, dude. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to get a nacho with a side of weed. You know what I mean?
dude?
Some nacho weed. Like that ain't what I'm trying to do, son.
Yo, I think you're onto something. You know, Doritos.
Right. Yeah.
Doritos weed or something like that.
Oh, no, that's not what I'm on to, dude. The stoners are like, dude, that's a good idea. And I'm like, that is not what I'm saying.
That's
now,
what
brother.
I'm saying. There's a stoner that's like this, like, that's a fucking sick idea. Missing out, man.
I might be, dude. And here's the thing. I might be, dude.
No, I'm just saying, no, not from smoking the thing, but from being a fucking product genius, my friend. Come on.
Dude, listen, dude, I'll be a genius, but I don't even need to fucking put no the devil's lettuce inside of it, dude.
It's like you know that thing of like put a bird on it.
Put a bird on it?
What?
I know about getting 2 birds stoned at once.
Okay, yeah. That's Trailer Park Boys shit.
Yeah, dude. I knew we were best friends, man. I knew it was just, matter of time, bro.
How come nobody's remixed that intro song yet, though?
I've
put a beat on it.
Didn't do the intro, but I've put out The Liquor, which was a Mr. Leahy song, and then I made a song called Rocked Up, which is just a bunch of J-Rock samples and dubstep. It's sick.
Oh, I've heard of your song The Liquor, and I did notice that.
Yeah, dude.
Because they're so quotable. Did Trailer Park Boys ever get bad?
A little bit, man. A little bit.
It got awful.
Yeah, I don't say awful. It just got a little... They got too much money to make the show. What made the show so dope was when they had no money, and it was like a trailer park TV series. It was white trash. It had that white trashiness about it. But then they got Netflix giving them millions an episode. It's like, the shit got weird, dude. I need them getting high and drunk, fucking robbing banks with like just a regular old camera. You know, I don't want a camera crew.
With Julian always holding his drink while he's robbing the bank.
Yeah, dude, the show's been going on for 20 years. They did just put out a new season on their website. It's not on Netflix, so I'm curious to see how it is, and I will go check it out.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a fan, you gotta keep up with the hits, you know.
What about you? You gonna give it a chance?
No.
Damn,
But you'll let me know if it's worth it.
You just a hater, Grant.
I'm not a hater, dude. I was on that shit. My brother showed me that shit a long time ago. That was one of our big bonding moments. Was that your older brother?
Yep, bonding moments. Yeah,
yes,
it was like the liquor day. It was the movie. It was the Trailer Park movie. My brother showed me, and that was one of our big bonding moments. Whenever I was kind of becoming like a teenager, and he was like an adult, that was a bonding moment we had too.
Oh man, that's so great. That makes me happy to hear. You gotta love that.
I do, man.
My brother and I were like not close in middle school, and then high school hit off, and then we did shit like that. We became thick as thieves. He's my best friend in the fucking planet. Love that dude. But I feel like Trailer Park Boys got bad maybe after that movie. Like it was like they did like season 6 or 7. As soon as Ricky's as soon as they like, I feel like the show like became self-aware. Like they really like became self-aware of like the jokes, and like they started to like really overdo it and like lean into it too much. And I don't know.
I agree, man. It was literally, they had an 8-year period where they didn't make a season, and that was because after they came back, Netflix gave them money, and that's when it got a little weird. Now I still love the show because the characters I'm invested in. You know, I'm invested in. It's like I'm a huge Walking Dead fan. I have Daryl Dixon right here, right?
Gotcha.
So it's like the show got bad for a little bit. Now it's better than ever. They're like on season 11 going into it, but I'm still a fan, dude. Yeah, I'm just so invested. But it's honestly better than it's ever been, dude.
I really enjoyed watching that show, and I stopped watching it for whatever reason. Did they ever like figure out like that like where the zombies came from, or like how to like deal with it ultimately, I guess?
No, no. They basically no. It's just the apocalypse, man, and it got weird for a little bit, but now, like I said, now it's so good now, man. I recommend it. Remember little baby Judith? You know what I mean? Rick's little baby. Did you ever get that far? Wherever she had that baby?
Oh, maybe it did. Was I don't know. Like, the last thing I remember seeing was there like in like this like safe haven place super early on seasons, and I don't. Then everything got like the other. They like finally made it to like the civilization where they're like gardening and they had like walls up and they're like, what? Like this is
Yep.
amazing. You guys are like figured it out, and then like it got unfigured out because like internal drama definitely like fucked it up or like I don't.
No, I
That's
know
how
where
the show goes, right?
I know what you're talking about. Are you a big like television guy? Are you invested in some shows like that? Like what are you into, man?
Ooh, I
I know,
yeah,
I know there's some
I'm
days where you're like, all right, man, I don't want to make music today, or you get done in the studio and you're like,
oh yeah.
man, I just want to chill and watch my favorite show. Like, what's that for you, dude?
Sometimes it's like I just binge watched the Queen's Gambit. Like that's all I did for an entire day. I just only watched that show.
Yeah.
I was just like feeling bad, and I was like, all right, cool, this is great. Um, I love there's a few anime series that I really like. Kimetsu no Yaiba, Demon Slayer, and then Jujutsu Kaisen is like the one I'm watching right now, which is super fresh, hot out the box. That
Oh
shit's
yeah.
fire.
Out the box, bro.
So I'm with the anime thing. Wow, what else am I really feeling? I'm a big movie guy, but I'm also really big audiobook guy. Like I love audiobooks.
Mm.
Like I do like an hour of stretching every morning, so I listen to audiobook then, and like if I go grocery shopping or like I'll take like my roommate's dog on a walk or just hanging out. When I cook, I'll put headphones on and I'll listen to audiobooks and shit. And so I love audiobooks. I'm listening to this series called The Wheel of Time, which is like uh it's like Lord of the Rings on crack. It's just super in
Love
depth.
crack. Okay, so
Love crack.
love
So
crack, dude. You
so it's
outsold it
awesome.
crack.
Yeah, that one's good. I listened to all the Harry Potter books during quarantine. That was a lot of time, but those are really good. I forgot how much I like those. Like I also I'll play Call of Duty and listen to audiobooks.
Warzone?
Yeah,
You trying to fuck some noobs, Grant? Like, what's good, dude? I ain't gonna
I
jerk
got you.
myself. I ain't gonna jerk myself off when I say this, dude. I'm kind of cold on some war zones.
I bet, dude. Yeah, let's definitely do it. I'll give you
Yeah.
my number and my PSN outside or in the chat thing. But
Hell yeah, dude.
I love listening to audiobooks and playing multiplayer, and
It's
it's
kind of
it's
weird.
fire.
It's a weird balance where you're like, oh fuck you. Damn, that's such a good part of this book. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that the nice thing is that I can just kind of like because Call of Duty is either really awesome, like people are like, "Oh, you won, that's dope," like I suck, but like you're great, like sometimes it's like really fantastic and people are really nice, but most of the time it's so toxic and I'm like, I'm not even trying to hear this shit, so I'll just listen to a fucking audiobook and like be in another world and I'll play and I'll honestly I play fucking amazing in that mode.
hell yeah, dude. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I love talking shit, dude. Okay. So,
That's all good.
so it will be like Warzone, and I'll get second place or whatever, and you can't leave. You have to talk to the person who won, and they'll be like, "Good game, man." I'll be like, "Fuck you, dog." Just out of the spirit.
Yeah.
I don't mean it. It's just out of my
Yeah.
own spirit. I have to talk shit. I just cannot help it, dude.
There can it can be a piece of it. I'm not even talking about that. Like that's totally understood. There's just some people that are like I got like a rainbow flag on like my thing and like people are fucking mean about that shit.
Yeah.
But like I'm here to at least give these uncultured fucks a little bit of a taste of like, hey, gay people can play Warzone shooting games and fucking win.
Yeah.
Fuck you, like like some people have such a problem with that, man. They're like machoism is so high and it's so like threatened. It's like,
Dude,
girl, get fucked. Try it
man,
out, maybe.
that's 100%. You never know unless you try. You know what I'm saying? Some shows you gotta try up a couple times. But what I'm saying is man, like being from, and I'm glad you talked about that because I didn't know how comfortable you'd be about talking about things like this, and I figured you would, but I just didn't know if we'd get to it. All right. So like me being from Mississippi, supposedly the most racist, homophobic place in the United States, right? I worked at a gay bar for like a good 3.5 years, and I feel like those 3 years of me working there kind of changed my perspective on a lot of things that I see in life that may be a little different, not only for myself, but for some of my friends too. Whenever I started working there DJing, I'm like, man, y'all should come to the club tonight. Man, I don't know about going to a gay bar. And they come and they have the
Right.
best time ever.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They're just
Yeah.
it's just a great time. But you being in electronic music, which is, praised as this, you know, accepting place, loving all, plur community, right? And I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, it took you a minute to kind of come out and be yourself fully with the community and stuff like that.
Mm.
Whenever you did that, I'm sure it was a weight lifted off of your shoulders. But
Mm.
you doing that and since have been able to, let all these other gay artists come up, like such as like Rekno, who's like really pushing it, and y'all have Medusa, which is like a gay anthem and stuff like that. Was you coming out? Absolutely rock and roll, baby. Actually, if you're listening now, go check out the podcast episode with Rekno. It was one of my favorite episodes.
Shit.
Yeah, it was. We had a twerk off. It was fantastic. But you
Oh
doing
my God, of
that
course.
was that a hard thing for you to come out and do, or was that just like a kind of thing that you were just like whatever about, like, yeah, it's about time I just show everyone? Was it a thing that you were internally struggling with, like just coming out to the whole community? Because I feel like this is a community where if you tell somebody who you are, they're like, yeah, we love you, dude. This is who it is. And I know that's a big question in itself, but that's just something that, it's just something I'm a little curious about. Maybe the other people are too. Maybe some people out there who are struggling with the same stuff might be a little curious about.
Huh. I needed to come out to myself first and all my people before I like told anybody else. I really wanted to like figure that out. And by the time I came out publicly, I was like 100% cool with who I was, and you could call me a faggot. I'd be like, thanks, beesh, fuck you,
Thanks,
whatever.
Beach.
I don't even feel like bad about it really. I'm just like, damn, like really, you're on that, huh? Oh, that's unfortunate for you because you're missing out on a lot of good shit.
Yeah.
But you know, I got to a point where I was like, listen, I'm cool with this in my own life. So like telling all these people at this point, like if somebody doesn't like me, like if somebody doesn't like me for that, man, like I don't really want to be in a relationship with that person at all anyways. Like so I can just let that go and I can let them go. I can't expect everybody to like what I like. And I can't expect everybody to get down the way I get down. That's a hard thing to understand, especially in a place where you're like getting people to like you creates more income for your business.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you're kind of in the game of getting people to like your shit. Why do you promote anything? To get more people to see it and hopefully like it. And it's like, okay, that's one originally just fucked up for art in general. So that's really hard. I think that's something I'm gonna have to unlearn my entire life. I don't think that I will fully ever unlearn how to function as an artist without ever thinking about the perception of other people and their opinion on what I'm doing. Um, but with being my authentic self, right? Like it became easier once I was able to accept it into my own life and then just get rid of needing to please anybody else or like needing anybody else to accept me because I'm like I already got me figured out. So like I don't need your opinion to dictate how I feel about myself. So you can just like we had this show love spread love thing in the GRiZ community, and I feel like people kind of took it the wrong way. Show love spread love is not like a placation platform to just say, "Oh, I love everybody," and I'm gonna accept and like give people love that like really don't fucking deserve it. Like I'm not just gonna like give out this sense of self to people who are being evil to me. It's like, you know what? Hey, fuck you. I don't want anything bad to happen to you, but hey, fuck you. I don't want anything to deal with you. Peace.
Yeah.
You can unsubscribe whenever you'd like. But I'll be here doing my thing if you ever decide to recognize that you were being a fucking asshole. And maybe I'll realize that I was being an asshole. My ideology will change and we can come meet on a different planet, but
And have a
for
cold
now,
one, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, but for now it's like get get fucked. So once I kind of got that attitude down pat and I was cool with my shit, I really just like, I don't know, fuck it all, dude. Whatever, like I'm just my own person and I'm on my journey of processing my life and figuring out what what's important to me. And I'm not here to save anybody, dude. I'm not here to be anybody's fucking patron saint, example, savior, whatever. Like some people take that shit and they run with their, like, they're like, oh, look at this guy. He's like the example, the one we should all fucking listen to, or like whatever. I'm like, I am a human being processing the experience of life. I do not have the answers for you. I do not have the information to tell you what is true because my truth is singular. It is individualistic. This is my truth. This is my truth. And my truth is changing as well. So like, I couldn't ever fucking write a book because that'd be like my opinions and ideas and like my truth alignments change as life goes on because I change, life changes. So yeah, man, I'm not a fucking, I'm not that. I don't think anybody should be that, But I'm here to say, if you've got a lovely attitude and about yourself and about being generous and kind and trying to learn and be generous towards other people, like we got your back 1,000,000% of the time, no
Dude,
matter what.
that was something that I did learn working at the club. It was just like I learned really quick. It was such a community of just like love. You know what I mean? It was just like, if you fuck with us, like, what's up? Like, come have a good time. And it was just like,
Yeah.
if you don't, just don't come here. And it was like such a huge learning experience that I wouldn't change for anything on the planet. But yeah, man, I know that was a weirder question of this hour and 39 minutes that we've been in here, but it was just something that just came into it, and I just wanted to see your perspective on that, man.
Oh man, Ed, I appreciate that. I appreciate you asking. I take no judgment about that. About that question. I'm very voluntarily public person.
Yeah.
So that's all good. I that's so cool, man. Very stoked that you let yourself have that experience and that was something that I'm happy it was a positive experience for you, and I'm happy that you met like awesome gay people because there's also shitty gay people out there too. There's just shitty people in general. Like, just making you gay or straight doesn't make you like on one side of the fucking virtue line, like
Yeah.
damn, there's all sorts of like great people out there, and also all sorts of crappy people too, they
Dude,
come.
it was an amazing experience. Here's the thing, dude. If you're going to be a nightclub DJ, you want to DJ at the gay bar because you know what gay people love to do? They love to fucking dance, son.
That's facts.
They love to have a good-ass time. So if you're going to be a nightclub DJ, dude, go DJ at your local gay bar, bro.
Did you play, was that at a time when you were playing EDM music or was this pre that?
I was making it, but was I playing it? Absolutely not. I would be DJing for like 6 to 8 hours a night, like on a Friday and Saturday, and I'd be playing everything from. It was like the gay bar was so cool because it was like a lot of house music, but also it was everything. So I'd be playing, like hood music or like 90s, like Britney or like modern pop or like even like some sad country or rock songs. Being in Mississippi, what was so cool about the gay bar, because all the different nightclubs in Mississippi, you had, like the white bars or the black bars or like, it was like, it really did feel segregated as far as like where people met up. But the gay bar was all walks of life. It'd be whites, blacks, youngs, olds, and like everything in between. You would literally have like people in their 60s or people in their like who just turned 18 on the dance floor together, completely different cultures, dancing it up, and they loved everything that you played. So like I feel like I got away playing a lot more at those clubs because it was a lot more open-minded people to stuff that they could dance to. Where if I was at a rock club and I played something else, it's like they're like, get the fuck out of here, guy. You know what I'm saying? So it was a really cool place where just everyone could come together and just like have a good time and it'd be normal. It'd be crazy because I'd be like seeing some like hood motherfuckers like in there just like dancing to Britney, and I'm like, this is awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's like that just makes brings me a lot of joy.
Yeah, man.
Cool. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh man.
Have your guests, I don't mean to be redundant. Have your guests
I don't even know what
asked
that
you,
means, dude.
I don't mean to like do the same thing that like over again, but
Okay.
has that being said, have your fans asked you about like your stuff? I don't know enough about you. I don't know like
Like my sexuality.
your
Oh.
store like your store.
Oh.
No, no, man,
I don't know.
that's your business, bro.
I don't do.
But
I've been really open about a lot of things on this podcast, so I do feel like my fans. I feel like some of them know like some things, and some
like
of them
where you,
don't.
like musically, like where does Taboo start?
Yeah,
Um,
I feel like people who have listened to this podcast might have heard some stories and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like it just
what's
all.
your what do you beyond your comedy album? Because I know that I'm gonna assume that the majority of your fans are like in here listening to this podcast as like EDM fans of yours, probably.
Yeah.
Um, what's the EDM career like for you right now? And what are you excited for the upcoming, you know, few next months to year? Besides like can't wait to come back to playing shows.
Right, right. I guess like EDM career right now is other just making as much songs and kind of just preparing myself. I feel like for 2020, I released a lot of music, like nonstop releasing music. And this year, I kind of want to slow it down and still release like the same amount, but like in projects and like cohesive ideas. You know what I mean? And the album actually, I've talked to my fans. I've told them like, there's gonna be a point this year where I'm not gonna be releasing EDM, where I'm gonna be releasing some of the comedy album. I'm gonna do a music video. I'm gonna do, multiple music videos, and like it's like something that I've honestly very very excited for. So, I'm just. I feel like this is a year to kind of take some chances and do a little bit different stuff because I've been so consistent for releases since about 2017, just releasing every month and sometimes releasing in like 2 EPs in 2 months or whatever. And I feel like now's a time where I'm so confident in all the stuff that I'm making and like the ideas that I have that I want to really take time to make sure that they have their own space to be their own thing. Because sometimes where it's like I release this and then release that and you're already forgot about it, where it's like I want things to kind of be like a chapter where it's like this is like what it is right now. You know what I mean? I don't know if that
Okay,
answered
cool.
that's questions though.
No, it does. I'm just curious. I mean, for me, like seeing. I think I first heard your music through Barack's label, um, and the song that caught my attention was, or fuck, I'm having trouble remembering it. But huh, I gotta do
Sassy
this.
Sally. Was it Sassy Sally?
Maybe.
Bleacher Creature. That was that Wonky Tonk EP. That's a good one. A fun one.
Yeah, that shit
Now
was.
I know you've been playing out Crawdaddy because I've had people tag me in Crawdaddy whenever you drop them in your streams, man.
Yeah, I played that one. Like the wonky tonky. Wonky tonk is it all one word? I'm gonna
Wonky
find
Tonk.
it.
No, it's 2 words. Wonky
What's Rock's label called?
Drama Club Records.
Yeah, Drama Club.
Yeah.
When he told me he was coming out with this record label and it was called Drama Club Records, I was so jealous. I was like, that is such a cool fucking name for a record label.
Well, he just has good ideas. You know what I'm saying? Everything he spits
Oh
out is just a
yeah.
good idea.
But what was it? Oh yeah, I played that one the other day. Yeah, that song is so fucking cool. I like the funky vibes.
I was
I
going
don't
for
know. I
like that New Orleans vibe. You know what I mean? That's what I was kind of going for. Was that like New
was it
Orleans stuff?
this one? Let's see. My speakers got to warm up. I think it was Sassy Sally. Tater Tits, dude. Come on. These song titles are hilarious.
So Tater Tits is actually my best friend's nickname. So it's my best friend nickname. So I wanted to kind of give him a song title just because we call him Tater Tits.
Is it that one?
I don't know. Sassy Sally's my favorite on that EP for sure.
Yeah, that was the one.
Sassy
It was
Sally.
Sassy Sally. That shit's fire.
It's a good one, man.
Certified.
No,
I was like, what
did,
is this?
I did want to make all the song titles just as ridiculous as possible, man.
And then I think the coolest my like top 10 top this sounds so redactive and dumb, but my top 10 favorite drops of the year has to go to you and run it. I think you and run it for
Swerving,
the one
dude.
that's like, bring back the wubs.
Yep. Yes, sir.
That shit is crazy. When I heard that, I was like, ugh. I was like, get the fuck out. That's too cool, man.
Dude, yeah. Man, look, Grant, you don't know how much that means to me, you saying that shit, dude. You know, you have no idea. You've been my favorite EDM artist ever since I got into EDM. And that's not me jerking you off, like that's me being for real.
For real. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. You got it popping off, dude. It's gonna continue to hit. You keep making cool music. I think that like there's a billion people doing electronic music, and there's a space for everybody to do it, and I think that you're creating really cool space, and that's on facts.
I appreciate that, dude. Well, look, Grant, we've been in here for a while, man. I know we probably were a little longer than you expected. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to keep it that much longer. But I have a fan question that I wanted to get to. This is Allie Kate Ross on Facebook. She asks, how long till we get GRiZ? Wink emoji, wink emoji.
GRiZ, soon. I mean, you sent me those ideas, and you got something else that you want to work on this week. So
I got some more goofy, like goofier ideas that I think will be more fun. That's what I'm saying. I got goofy ideas.
Cool. Let's get with it. Send me whatever. We'll see what's popping. I'm fresh in the studio hours every day, so same. I'm around for it. Yeah, shit. Let her know. I hate to say soon, and I would hate to say not soon. So just at some point in the future.
At some point, dude. In time.
In time.
In this lifetime, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, look, Grant, man, I cannot thank you enough for coming on the show today, man. It's been really awesome kind of getting to talk to you and pick your brain, getting to know each other a little bit more. Man, I just can't thank you enough for inspiring not only me as an artist, but just me as a person to spread love and just to be kind to other people and to be yourself, dude. And so for that, I really thank you. I can't wait to see everything that you do in the future. I can't wait to, just, be a fan, but also be a friend at some point. You know what I mean? So
yes, sir.
If there's anything else you have for the people that you want to let them know what's coming up, anything what's next for GRiZ, man, now's the time.
You'll see.
Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I love it, dude. What's up, Grant? Can't thank you enough, man. And I will talk to you soon, brother.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure and honor, and I'll see you IRL at the other side of the rainbow.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're gonna fuck some people up on some Warzone too, brother.
Let's go. You got my PSN in there, right?
I got it, man. I got it now. We good.
Do you like that? Don't say the name. You like the name?
Let me look one more time because I just got the numbers.
I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of that shit.
I love it, dude. I'm gonna tweet it real quick though, okay?
All right, cool. Tell everybody. Let's go. Catch me in for dance.
That was Mr. GRiZ, y'all. What a guy. What a great conversation, dude. I wish y'all could have saw. I mean, you obviously saw how excited I was during that. But at the end of that shit, whenever I hit done and record, I literally stood up and was like, let's fucking go. So that's just how much fun and how excited I was to have him on. So shout out GRiZ for being a great dude coming on the show. And shout out all y'all for listening this week, man. I got a lot of really dope stuff planned for 2021 for this podcast. Going to expand on the type of guests that I have on, not just artists, but a lot of other really dope, interesting people. Got a lot of really cool stuff lined up. So really excited to do all that. Hope y'all stick around for all that shit. And I will see y'all next week, man. I love y'all. Be good to each other. Stay safe. Yeah, peace.